Question 1. Coverage and exclusions. In Georgia, which of the following is typically excluded from a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Fire damage. B. Theft. C. Flood damage. D. Liability coverage. C. Flood damage. Explanation. Standard homeowners insurance policies generally cover damage caused by fire, theft, and provide liability coverage. However, flood damage is usually excluded and requires a separate flood insurance policy, which can be obtained through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, or private insurers. This exclusion is specified under the National Flood Insurance Act and reinforced by most state regulations, including those in Georgia. Question 2. Insurance claims. Scenario. Sarah, a homeowner in Georgia, experienced significant damage to her property due to a recent hurricane. She promptly reported the damage to her insurance company, and an adjuster was sent to evaluate the loss. The adjuster determined that some of the damage was due to wind, which is covered by Sarah's policy, but a significant portion of the damage was due to flooding, which is not covered by her standard homeowner's policy. What should Sarah do to ensure she receives compensation for the flood damage? A. Appeal the adjuster's decision and insist on full coverage. B. File a claim with the National Flood Insurance Program and NFIP. C. Hire a public adjuster to negotiate with her insurance company. D. File a lawsuit against her insurance company. Answer. B. File a claim with the National Flood Insurance Program and NFIP. Explanation. Since Sarah's standard homeowner's insurance policy does not cover flood damage, she needs to file a claim with the NFIP, assuming she has a separate flood insurance policy through them. The NFIP provides coverage for flood-related damages, which are typically excluded from standard homeowners policies. The process involves submitting detailed documentation of the damage and costs to the NFIP. Question 3. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following is a primary factor that underwriters consider when assessing risk for property insurance in Georgia? A. Proximity to fire hydrants. B. Color of the property. C. Number of occupants. D. Property owner's credit score. Answer. A. Proximity to fire hydrants. Explanation. Underwriters assess several factors when determining risk and premiums for property insurance, including the property's proximity to fire hydrants and fire stations, which affects the potential response time in case of a fire, while the number of occupants and the property owner's credit score might be considered in broader underwriting practices. Proximity to fire hydrants is a critical factor for assessing fire risk and ensuring adequate fire protection services. Question 4. Types of property insurance policies. In Georgia, which type of property insurance policy would be most appropriate for a small business owner looking to protect their building and contents from various risks, including fire, theft, and liability? A. Homeowners insurance. B. Business owners policy, BOP. C. Personal property insurance. D. Flood insurance. Answer. B. Business owners policy, BOP. Explanation. A business owner's policy, BOP, is specifically designed for small to mid-sized businesses and provides comprehensive coverage, including protection for the building, contents, and liability risks such as fire and theft. Homeowners insurance is meant for residential properties. Personal property insurance typically covers individual items rather than a business's overall assets, and flood insurance specifically covers flood-related damages but not other business risks. Question 5. Policy interpretation and analysis. Which of the following best describes the insuring agreement ECA property insurance policy in Georgia? A. It details the exclusions and limitations of the policy. B. It specifies the premiums and payment schedule. C. It outlines the coverage provided and the insurer's promise to pay for covered losses. D. It lists the insured's responsibilities and obligations. Answer. C. It outlines the coverage provided and the insurer's promise to pay for covered losses. Explanation. The insuring agreement is a critical part of a property insurance policy that outlines the coverage provided by the insurer and their promise to pay for losses covered under the policy. It forms the core of the insurance contract, stating what is insured and under what circumstances. Exclusions and limitations are detailed in a separate section. Premiums and payment schedules are addressed in the declarations page, and the insured's responsibilities are outlined in the conditions section. Question 6. Insurance claims. Scenario. Robert, who lives in Georgia, has a commercial property that was recently damaged by a severe storm. He files a claim with his insurance company and an adjuster is sent to assess the damage. The insurance company offers a settlement that Robert believes is too low to cover the repair costs. What should Robert do to resolve this issue? A. Accept the settlement offer and cover the remaining costs himself. B. Negotiate with the insurance company and provide additional evidence of the repair costs. C. Cancel his policy and switch to a different insurance company. D. Ignore the settlement and proceed with repairs without insurance assistance. Answer: B. Negotiate with the insurance company and provide additional evidence of the repair costs. Explanation: if Robert believes the settlement offer is insufficient, he should negotiate with the insurance company. This can involve providing additional evidence such as contractor estimates, repair invoices, and any other documentation that supports the actual repair costs. It is important to communicate clearly and provide detailed information to justify the need for a higher settlement. Accepting a low offer or ignoring the settlement could result in significant out-of-pocket expenses, and switching companies would not resolve the current claim issue. Question 7. Insurance contracts. In Georgia, what is required for an insurance contract to be legally binding? A. An oral agreement between the insured and the insurer. B. A written contract signed only by the insurer. C. An offer, acceptance, and consideration. D. A verbal promise by the insurance agent. Answer: C. An offer, acceptance, and consideration. Explanation: for an insurance contract to be legally binding in Georgia, it must include an offer, acceptance, and consideration. The offer is usually made by the applicant through an insurance application. The acceptance occurs when the insurer issues the policy, and the consideration involves the payment of premiums by the insured in exchange for the promise of coverage by the insurer. Oral agreements, verbal promises, and unsigned written contracts do not fulfill all these necessary elements. Question 8. Insurance policy analysis. Which of the following statements best describes the declarations page in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. It lists the exclusions and limitations of the policy. B. It provides a summary of the policyholder's coverage, limits, and premiums. C. It outlines the procedures for filing a claim. D. It contains detailed definitions of key policy terms. Answer: B. It provides a summary of the policyholder's coverage, limits, and premiums. Explanation: the declarations page, also known as the DEC page, provides a summary of the key elements of the insurance policy. It includes information such as the policyholder's name, address, the coverage provided, policy limits, deductibles, and the premium amount. The exclusions and limitations are listed in a separate section. Claim procedures are outlined in the conditions section, and definitions of key terms are typically found in the definitions section of the policy. Question 9. Underwriting considerations. Scenario: Jane is applying for homeowners insurance in Georgia. During the underwriting process, the insurance company evaluates several factors to determine her risk profile and the appropriate premium for her policy. Which of the following factors is most likely to influence the underwriting decision? A. Jane's favorite color. B. The age and condition of Jane's home. C. The type of car Jane drives. D. Jane's recent travel history. Answer: B. The age and condition of Jane's home. Explanation: the age and condition of Jane's home are significant factors in the underwriting process for homeowners insurance. These factors help the insurer assess the risk of potential claims. Older homes or homes in poor condition may have a higher risk of damage or require more maintenance, leading to higher premiums or additional coverage requirements. Factors like Jane's favorite color, the type of car she drives, or her recent travel history are not relevant to the risk assessment for homeowners insurance. Question 10. Coverage and exclusions. In Georgia, which of the following losses is typically excluded from a commercial property insurance policy? A. Fire damage to the building. B. Theft of inventory. C. Earthquake damage. D. Water damage from a burst pipe. Answer: C. Earthquake damage. Explanation: standard commercial property insurance policies typically exclude losses caused by earthquakes. Earthquake coverage requires a separate endorsement or a standalone earthquake insurance policy. Fire damage, theft of inventory, and water damage from a burst pipe are generally covered under a standard commercial property insurance policy. Georgia, like many other states, follows these common exclusions unless additional coverage is purchased. Question 11. Liability and legal concepts. Which of the following is an example of a situation where a business owner in Georgia might need liability insurance? A. To cover the cost of replacing stolen office equipment. B. To pay for damages to the owner's personal vehicle. C. To protect against claims of bodily injury or property damage caused by the business's operations. D. To insure the business owner's life. Answer: C. To protect against claims of bodily injury or property damage caused by the business's operations. Explanation: liability insurance protects a business owner against claims arising from bodily injury or property damage caused by the business's operations, products, or services. This type of insurance is essential to cover legal costs, settlements, and judgments that may result from such claims. Replacing stolen office equipment, paying for damages to a personal vehicle, and insuring the business owner's life require different types of insurance, such as property insurance, auto insurance, and life insurance, respectively. Question 12. Claims handling process. Scenario: Tom, who runs a restaurant in Georgia, has a commercial property insurance policy. A severe storm causes significant damage to his restaurant's roof, leading to water damage inside the building. Tom files a claim with his insurance company, and an adjuster is assigned to his case. The adjuster inspects the damage and estimates the repair costs. Tom disagrees with the adjuster's estimate, believing it is too low to cover the necessary repairs. What should Tom do next to address this issue? A. Accept the adjuster's estimate and use his own funds for additional repairs. B. Contact a public adjuster for a second opinion and assistance with the claim. C. Immediately file a lawsuit against the insurance company. D. Ignore the adjuster's estimate and proceed with repairs without consulting the insurer. Answer: B. Contact a public adjuster for a second opinion and assistance with the claim. Explanation: if Tom disagrees with the adjuster's estimate, the best course of action is to contact a public adjuster. Public adjusters work on behalf of the policyholder to provide an independent assessment of the damage and help negotiate a fair settlement with the insurance company. This can ensure that Tom receives adequate compensation to cover the necessary repairs. Filing a lawsuit should be a last resort after other negotiation methods have been exhausted, and ignoring the insurer could result in out-of-pocket expenses and potential coverage disputes. Question 13. State-specific insurance regulations and statutes. In Georgia, what is the primary role of the Georgia Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner? A. To set insurance premium rates for all policies in the state. B. To investigate claims on behalf of insurance companies. C. To regulate and oversee insurance companies and ensure compliance with state laws. D. To sell insurance policies directly to consumers. Answer: C. To regulate and oversee insurance companies and ensure compliance with state laws. Explanation: the primary role of the Georgia Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner is to regulate and oversee insurance companies operating within the state, ensuring they comply with state laws and regulations. This includes licensing insurance companies, agents, and brokers, investigating consumer complaints, and taking enforcement actions when necessary. The office also works to educate consumers about insurance issues. It does not set premium rates, investigate claims on behalf of insurers, or sell insurance policies directly to consumers. Question 14. Insurance industry ethics. Which of the following actions would be considered an unethical practice for an insurance agent in Georgia? A. Disclosing all policy terms and conditions to the client. B. Offering a client additional coverage options. C. Misrepresenting the terms of a policy to make a sale. D. Advising a client on the best coverage for their needs. Answer: C. Misrepresenting the terms of a policy to make a sale. Explanation: misrepresenting the terms of a policy to make a sale is an unethical practice for an insurance agent. Ethical conduct in the insurance industry requires agents to be honest, transparent, and act in the best interests of their clients. This includes accurately disclosing all policy terms and conditions, offering appropriate coverage options, and providing sound advice tailored to the client's needs. Misrepresentation can lead to serious consequences, including legal action and loss of licensure. Question 15. Loss settlement methods. Scenario: Susan owns a rental property in Georgia insured under a replacement cost policy. After fire damages the property, she files a claim with her insurance company. The adjuster provides an initial payment based on the actual cash value, a CV, of the damaged property. Susan is concerned that this amount is not enough to cover the cost of repairs. What should Susan do to receive the full replacement cost coverage? A. Accept the ACV payment and use her own funds for the rest of the repairs. B. Submit repair invoices and receipts to the insurance company to receive the remaining replacement cost amount. C. Hire a public adjuster to dispute the ACV payment. D. File a lawsuit against the insurance company. Answer: B. Submit repair invoices and receipts to the insurance company to receive the remaining replacement cost amount. Explanation: under a replacement cost policy, the insurance company typically makes an initial payment based on the ACV, which accounts for depreciation. To receive the full replacement cost, Susan needs to submit repair invoices and receipts to the insurance company. This documentation proves the actual cost of repairs or replacement, prompting the insurer to release the remaining amount up to the policy limits. Accepting the ACV and using personal funds or immediately filing a lawsuit are not necessary steps if the policy outlines the process for receiving the full replacement cost after providing proof of expenses. Question 16. Types of casualty insurance policies. In Georgia, which type of casualty insurance policy would provide coverage for injuries sustained by customers on a business's premises? A. Workers' compensation insurance. B. Commercial general liability insurance. C. Business auto insurance. D. Professional liability insurance. Answer: B. Commercial general liability insurance. Explanation: commercial general liability (CGL) insurance provides coverage for bodily injury and property damage that occur on a business's premises or as a result of the business's operations. This type of policy is essential for protecting businesses against claims from customers or third parties. Workers' compensation insurance covers employees' work-related injuries. Business auto insurance covers vehicles used for business purposes, and professional liability insurance covers errors and omissions in professional services. Question 17. Conditions and endorsements. Which of the following best describes an endorsement in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. A clause that voids the policy under certain conditions. B. A statement of the insured's duties after a loss. C. A modification or addition to the original policy terms. D. A summary of the policyholder's coverage limits. Answer: C. A modification or addition to the original policy terms. Explanation: an endorsement is a modification or addition to the original terms of an insurance policy. Endorsements can be used to add, delete, or change coverage provisions. They allow for customization of a policy to better meet the insured's needs. Clauses that void the policy under certain conditions, statements of the insured's duties, and summaries of coverage limits are typically found in other sections of the policy, such as the conditions or declarations pages. Question 18. Insurance claims. Scenario: Linda, who owns a boutique in Georgia, experiences a burglary where several high-value items are stolen. She files a claim with her commercial property insurance company. The insurer requires Linda to provide proof of ownership and the value of the stolen items. What should Linda submit to the insurance company to support her claim? A detailed inventory list, purchase receipts, and photographs of the stolen items. B. A letter from her accountant verifying the loss. C. A police report without any additional documentation. D. A written statement estimating the value of the items. Answer: A detailed inventory list, purchase receipts, and photographs of the stolen items. Explanation: to support her claim, Linda should provide a detailed inventory list of the stolen items, purchase receipts to verify ownership and value, and photographs as evidence. These documents help the insurer validate the claim and determine the appropriate amount of compensation. A letter from an accountant or a police report alone would not provide sufficient proof of ownership or value, and a written statement without supporting documentation would likely be insufficient for the insurer to process the claim. Question 19. Insurance contracts. In Georgia, which of the following is considered a legally binding element of an insurance contract? A. The insurer's advertising materials. B. The initial conversation with an insurance agent. C. The policy declarations page. D. The insurer's financial rating. Answer: C. The policy declarations page. Explanation: The policy declarations page is a legally binding element of an insurance contract. It provides key details about the policy, including the names of the insured and insurer, the coverage provided, policy limits, deductibles, and the premium amount. Advertising materials and initial conversations with an agent are not legally binding parts of the contract. The insurer's financial rating is important for assessing the insurer's stability, but is not a component of the contract itself. Question 20. State insurance laws and regulations. Which of the following is a requirement for obtaining an insurance producer license in Georgia? A. Owning a physical office in the state. B. Passing a state-specific licensing exam. C. Having at least 5 years of experience in the insurance industry. D. Holding a college degree in finance. Answer: B. Passing a state-specific licensing exam. Explanation: to obtain an insurance producer license in Georgia, candidates must pass a state-specific licensing exam. This requirement ensures that producers have the necessary knowledge of state laws, regulations, and insurance practices. Owning a physical office, having a minimum number of years of experience, or holding a specific college degree are not mandatory requirements for obtaining a producer license in Georgia. Question 21. Casualty insurance scenario. Mark operates a small delivery business in Georgia. One of his drivers, while on a delivery, causes an accident that results in injuries to another driver and damage to their vehicle. Mark's business auto insurance policy is expected to cover the costs. What type of coverage within Mark's business auto insurance policy will handle these costs? A. Collision coverage. B. Comprehensive coverage. C. Liability coverage. D. Uninsured motorist coverage. Answer: C. Liability coverage. Explanation: liability coverage within a business auto insurance policy covers the costs associated with injuries and property damage caused to others in an accident for which the insured driver is at fault. This coverage is essential for protecting businesses against financial losses from claims or lawsuits resulting from such incidents. Collision coverage pays for damage to the insured vehicle in an accident. Comprehensive coverage handles non-collision related damages like theft or natural disasters, and uninsured motorist coverage protects against damages caused by uninsured or underinsured drivers. Question 22. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following is a primary consideration for underwriters when evaluating a property insurance application in Georgia? A. The applicant's credit score. B. The applicant's marital status. C. The location and construction type of the property. D. The applicant's hobbies and interests. Answer: C. The location and construction type of the property. Explanation: when underwriting a property insurance application, underwriters primarily consider factors like the location and construction type of the property. These factors help assess the risk of potential claims. Properties in areas prone to natural disasters or with older construction might pose higher risks, while the applicant's credit score can be a factor in some types of insurance. Marital status and personal hobbies are generally not relevant to property insurance underwriting. Question 23. Consumer protection laws. In Georgia, what action can a consumer take if they believe their insurance company has engaged in unfair claims practices? A. File a complaint with the Georgia Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner. B. Refuse to pay their insurance premium. C. Terminate their insurance policy immediately. D. Change the terms of their policy unilaterally. Answer: A. File a complaint with the Georgia Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner. Explanation: if a consumer believes their insurance company has engaged in unfair claims practices, they can file a complaint with the Georgia Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner. This office oversees and regulates insurance practices in the state and can investigate complaints, take corrective actions, and ensure that insurers comply with state laws. Refusing to pay premiums or unilaterally changing policy terms are not appropriate responses and could lead to further issues. Terminating the policy is an option but does not address the complaint about unfair practices. Question 24. Insurance claims scenario. Emily, who owns a bakery in Georgia, experiences a loss when a fire damages her commercial kitchen. She files a claim with her property insurance company. During the claims process, the insurer requests an inventory of damaged items and proof of their value. What should Emily provide to support her claim? A. A police report detailing the fire incident. B. An affidavit from a witness. C. A detailed inventory list, purchase receipts, and any relevant appraisals. D. A letter from her lawyer estimating the damages. Answer: C. A detailed inventory list, purchase receipts, and any relevant appraisals. Explanation: to support her claim, Emily should provide a detailed inventory list of the damaged items, purchase receipts to verify ownership and value, and any relevant appraisals. This documentation helps the insurer validate the claim and determine the appropriate compensation. A police report may provide context but does not substitute for proof of ownership and value. An affidavit or a lawyer's letter is insufficient without supporting documentation like receipts and appraisals. Question 25. Workers' compensation insurance. In Georgia, which of the following is a key benefit provided by workers' compensation insurance? A. Coverage for personal property damage of employees. B. Compensation for lost wages and medical expenses due to work-related injuries. C. Coverage for non-work-related illnesses. D. Life insurance benefits for employees' families. Answer: B. Compensation for lost wages and medical expenses due to work-related injuries. Explanation: workers' compensation insurance in Georgia provides key benefits such as compensation for lost wages and medical expenses incurred due to work-related injuries or illnesses. This coverage ensures that employees receive financial support while recovering and that their medical bills are covered. Workers' compensation does not cover personal property damage, non-work-related illnesses, or life insurance benefits for employees' families. Question 26. Liability and legal concepts. Which of the following best describes vicarious liability in the context of casualty insurance in Georgia? A. Liability for damage caused by natural disasters. B. Liability assumed voluntarily through a contract. C. Liability for the actions of another person, such as an employee. D. Liability limited to the insured's direct actions only. Answer: C. Liability for the actions of another person, such as an employee. Explanation: vicarious liability refers to a situation where one party is held liable for the actions of another person. In the context of casualty insurance in Georgia, this often applies to employers being held responsible for the actions of their employees. This type of liability arises from the legal relationship between the parties, such as an employer-employee relationship, rather than direct actions of the insured alone. Vicarious liability does not pertain to natural disasters or voluntary contractual agreements. Question 27. Insurance industry trends and developments. Scenario: David is an insurance agent in Georgia who wants to stay updated with emerging risks and exposures in the insurance industry. He notices a rising trend in cyber liability insurance due to increasing cyber threats. What should David do to better understand and advise his clients on cyber liability insurance? A. Ignore the trend and continue focusing on traditional insurance policies. B. Enroll in specialized training or courses on cyber liability insurance. C. Advise his clients that cyber threats are not a significant concern. D. Recommend general liability policies instead of specialized cyber coverage. Answer: B. Enroll in specialized training or courses on cyber liability insurance. Explanation: to better understand and advise his clients on cyber liability insurance, David should enroll in specialized training or courses on the subject. Cyber threats are a significant and growing risk, and having specialized knowledge will allow David to provide informed and relevant advice to his clients. Ignoring the trend or downplaying the importance of cyber threats would be detrimental to his clients' interests. General liability policies may not adequately cover cyber risks, making specialized cyber coverage essential. Question 28. Insurance policy analysis. In Georgia, what is the purpose of an exclusion in an insurance policy? A. To specify the insured's responsibilities. B. To outline the coverage provided by the policy. C. To list situations or risks that are not covered by the policy. D. To define the insured's payment schedule. Answer: C. To list situations or risks that are not covered by the policy. Explanation: an exclusion in an insurance policy explicitly states situations, risks, or conditions for which coverage is not provided. It helps clarify the scope of coverage and any limitations. Exclusions are crucial for policyholders to understand what risks they are not protected against. Responsibilities of the insured, coverage details, and payment schedules are typically addressed in other sections of the policy. Question 29. Underwriting considerations. Which of the following factors is most relevant for underwriters when assessing an applicant's eligibility for life insurance in Georgia? A. The applicant's driving record. B. The applicant's medical history and current health status. C. The applicant's educational background. D. The applicant's employment history. Answer: B. The applicant's medical history and current health status. Explanation: when underwriting life insurance in Georgia, underwriters primarily assess the applicant's medical history and current health status. This information helps determine the applicant's life expectancy and any potential risks that may affect eligibility or premium rates. Factors like driving record, educational background, and employment history are less relevant for life insurance underwriting compared to health-related factors. Question 30. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario: Sarah is an insurance agent in Georgia who is a client looking for auto insurance. Sarah knows that her client qualifies for a discount that the client is unaware of. The discount would significantly reduce the client's premium. What ethical principle should Sarah follow in this situation? A. Disclose the discount to the client and ensure they receive the low premium. B. Keep the discount information confidential to maintain professionalism. C. Advise the client to switch to a different insurance company for better rates. D. Use the discount to negotiate higher commissions for herself. Answer: A. Disclose the discount to the client and ensure they receive the low premium. Explanation: in this situation, Sarah should follow the ethical principle of honesty and transparency by disclosing the discount to her client. As an insurance agent, Sarah has a duty to act in her client's best interests and provide accurate information about available discounts that could benefit the client financially. Keeping such information confidential or using it for personal gain would violate ethical standards and undermine trust between Sarah and her client. Question 31. Insurance claims scenario. Alex, a homeowner in Georgia, discovers water damage in his basement due to a burst pipe. He files a claim with his homeowner's insurance company. The insurer sends an adjuster to assess the damage and estimate the repair costs. The adjuster determines that the damage is covered under Alex's policy. What should Alex expect as the next step in the claims process? A. Immediate payment for the full estimated repair costs. B. A written report from the adjuster detailing the findings. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until repairs are completed. Answer: C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation: after the adjuster assesses the damage, the next step in the claims process typically involves the insurance company sending Alex an initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages. Based on the adjuster's assessment, Alex can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate payment, a detailed report from the adjuster, or no further communication until repairs are completed are not standard next steps in the claims process. Question 32. Insurance policy analysis. What is the primary purpose of the insuring agreement in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. To summarize the policyholder's coverage limits. B. To list exclusions and limitations of the policy. C. To define the responsibilities of the insured. D. To specify what risks are covered by the policy. Answer: D. To specify what risks are covered by the policy. Explanation: the insuring agreement in an insurance policy in Georgia specifies the risks or perils for which the insurer provides coverage. It outlines the scope and extent of coverage, including the types of losses or damages that are covered under the policy terms. The insuring agreement is essential for policyholders to understand the protections provided by their insurance policy. Coverage limits, exclusions, and insured responsibilities are typically addressed in other sections of the policy. Question 33. State insurance laws and regulations. In Georgia, what role does the 30-day free look period play in insurance policies? A. It allows consumers to review the policy and cancel within 30 days for a full refund. B. It mandates insurers to offer a 30-day grace period for premium payments. C. It requires insurers to renew policies automatically every 30 days. D. It allows insurers to make changes to the policy terms within 30 days without notification. Answer A. It allows consumers to review the policy and cancel within 30 days for a full refund. Explanation. In Georgia, the 30-day free look period allows consumers who purchase an insurance policy to review its terms and conditions. During this period, consumers can cancel the policy for any reason and receive a full refund of premiums paid. This provision helps protect consumers by giving them an opportunity to ensure the policy meets their needs and expectations. It does not mandate premium grace periods, automatic policy renewals, or allow insurers to unilaterally change policy terms without notification. Question 34. Coverage and exclusions. In Georgia, which of the following losses is typically covered under a standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Earthquake damage. B. Flood damage. C. Windstorm damage. D. Mold damage. Answer. C. Windstorm damage. Explanation. In Georgia, standard homeowners insurance policies typically cover windstorm damage, including damage caused by hurricanes and other wind-related events. However, earthquake damage, flood damage, and mold damage are generally excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies. Coverage for earthquakes and floods often requires separate policies or endorsements, and mold damage may have limited coverage or exclusions depending on the policy terms. Question 35. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario. Jessica is an insurance agent in Georgia who is helping a client choose an insurance policy. She has two options from different insurers, both offering similar coverage and premiums. One insurer offers Jessica a higher commission rate if she sells their policy. What ethical principle should Jessica prioritize in this situation? A. Maximizing her earnings by selling the policy with the higher commission rate. B. Disclosing to her client the commission rates offered by each insurer. C. Choosing the policy that offers the best coverage regardless of commission rates. D. Recommending the insurer with the most recognizable brand name. Answer. B. Disclosing to her client the commission rates offered by each insurer. Explanation. In this scenario, Jessica should prioritize transparency and disclose to her client the commission rates offered by each insurer. This allows the client to make an informed decision based on all relevant information. While Jessica may benefit from higher commissions, her primary ethical obligation is to act in her client's best interests by providing honest and transparent advice. Choosing the policy based on coverage, not commission rates or brand recognition, further supports ethical conduct in insurance sales. Question 36. Insurance industry trends and developments. What impact does technological advancement typically have on the insurance industry in Georgia? A. Increased paperwork and administrative tasks. B. Higher insurance premiums for consumers. C. Improved efficiency in claims processing and customer service. D. Reduced availability of insurance products. Answer. C. Improved efficiency in claims processing and customer service. Explanation. Technological advancements in the insurance industry in Georgia often lead to improved efficiency in claims processing and customer service. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and digital platforms streamline operations, reduce paperwork, and enhance communication with policyholders. While technological advancements may influence premium calculations and product availability, they generally aim to improve service delivery and operational efficiency rather than increase premiums or reduce product availability. Question 37. Workers' compensation insurance. Scenario. James operates a construction company in Georgia with several employees. One of his employees suffers a severe injury while working on a project. The injury requires extensive medical treatment and prevents the employee from returning to work for several months. How does workers' compensation insurance in Georgia benefit James and his injured employee in this scenario? A. Workers' compensation insurance provides medical benefits and wage replacement to the injured employee, reducing financial burden on James. B. Workers' compensation insurance allows James to terminate the injured employee without legal repercussions. C. Workers' compensation insurance covers the cost of hiring a replacement worker until the injured employee returns to work. D. Workers' compensation insurance increases James' liability for the accident, requiring him to pay additional premiums. Answer A. Workers' compensation insurance provides medical benefits and wage replacement to the injured employee, reducing financial burden on James. Explanation. In Georgia, workers' compensation insurance provides medical benefits and wage replacement to employees who are injured or become ill due to work-related activities. This coverage helps James by reducing his financial liability for the injured employee's medical expenses and lost wages. Workers' compensation does not allow employers to terminate employees due to injuries covered by the policy, nor does it cover the costs of hiring replacement workers or increase liability through additional premiums for accidents covered under the policy. Question 38. Insurance contracts. What is the significance of consideration in the formation of an insurance contract in Georgia? A. It refers to the premium paid by the insured for coverage under the policy. B. It outlines the responsibilities of the insured in case of a claim. C. It specifies the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. D. It refers to the effective date of the insurance policy. Answer A. It refers to the premium paid by the insured for coverage under the policy. Explanation. In the context of insurance contracts in Georgia, consideration refers to the premium paid by the insured to the insurer in exchange for coverage under the policy. Consideration is a fundamental element of contract law, indicating that both parties, insurer and insured, provide something of value as part of the contractual agreement. While insurance contracts outline responsibilities, specify obligations, and establish effective dates, consideration specifically relates to the financial aspect of the agreement. The premium paid for insurance coverage. Question 39. Casualty insurance. Which of the following situations best illustrates the concept of indemnification in casualty insurance in Georgia? A. An insurer declines coverage for a claim due to policy exclusions. B. An insured receives compensation from their insurer for property damage caused by a covered peril. C. An insured pays a deductible before their insurer covers the remaining repair costs. D. An insurer investigates a claim to determine its validity and coverage under the policy. Answer. B. An insured receives compensation from their insurer for property damage caused by a covered peril. Explanation. Indemnification in casualty insurance refers to the process by which an insured is compensated by the insurer for covered losses or damages. It aims to restore the insured to the same financial position they were in before the loss occurred, within the limits of the policy coverage. Option B illustrates indemnification where the insured receives compensation for property damage caused by a covered peril. Options A, C, and D describe other aspects of the insurance process, such as claim denials, deductible payments, and claim investigations, which are not directly related to indemnification. Question 40. Insurance claims. Scenario. Sarah, the business owner in Georgia, files a claim with her commercial property insurance company after fire damages her office building. The insurer investigates the claim and determines that the damage is covered under Sarah's policy. What should Sarah expect during the claims settlement process? A. Immediate payment for the full estimated repair costs. B. A detailed investigation into the cause of the fire. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until repairs are completed. Answer. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation. After the insurer investigates and confirms coverage, Sarah should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages based on their assessment. Sarah can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate payment, detailed investigation into the fire's cause, or no further communication until repairs are completed are less likely next steps in the claims settlement process. Question 41. Insurance policy analysis. In Georgia, what role does the endorsement play in an insurance policy? A. It voids the policy under certain conditions. B. It specifies the insured's responsibilities. C. It modifies or adds to the original policy terms. D. It summarizes the insured's coverage limits. Answer. C. It modifies or adds to the original policy terms. Explanation. An endorsement in an insurance policy in Georgia modifies or adds to the original policy terms. It allows policyholders to customize their coverage to better suit their needs. Endorsements can expand or restrict coverage, add additional insured parties, or modify policy conditions. voiding the policy under certain conditions, specifying insured responsibilities, or summarizing coverage limits are functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy. Question 42. Underwriting considerations. Which of the following factors is most relevant for underwriters when assessing an applicant's eligibility for auto insurance in Georgia? A. The applicant's marital status. B. The applicant's credit history. C. The applicant's educational background. D. The applicant's employment history. Answer: B. The applicant's credit history. Explanation: when underwriting auto insurance in Georgia, underwriters often consider the applicant's credit history as a significant factor. Credit history helps insurers assess the likelihood of future claims based on financial responsibility and stability. Marital status, educational background, and employment history are generally less relevant factors for auto insurance underwriting compared to credit history. Question 43. State insurance laws and regulations. In Georgia, what is the purpose of the guarantee fund in the insurance industry? A. To provide financial assistance to insurance companies during economic downturns. B. To reimburse policyholders in the event of insurer insolvency or bankruptcy. C. To fund state-sponsored insurance programs for low-income residents. D. To regulate insurance rates and premiums in the state. Answer: B. To reimburse policyholders in the event of insurer insolvency or bankruptcy. Explanation: the Guarantee Fund in Georgia serves the purpose of reimbursing policyholders in case an insurance company becomes insolvent or bankrupt and is unable to fulfill its obligations. This fund provides a safety net to protect policyholders from financial loss in such situations. It does not provide financial assistance to insurers during economic downturns, fund state-sponsored insurance programs, or regulate insurance rates and premiums, which are typically within the purview of state insurance departments. Question 44. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario: John is an insurance adjuster in Georgia handling a claim for property damage. He notices that the estimated repair costs are slightly over the policy limits. However, the policyholder is unaware of this discrepancy. What ethical principle should John prioritize in this situation? A. Disclosing the discrepancy to the policyholder and explaining the situation. B. Ignoring the discrepancy to avoid complicating the claims process. C. Denying the claim based on the policy limits without further explanation. D. Delaying the claims process until the discrepancy is resolved internally. Answer: A. Disclosing the discrepancy to the policyholder and explaining the situation. Explanation: in this scenario, John should prioritize the ethical principle of honesty and transparency by disclosing the discrepancy to the policyholder and explaining the situation. It is essential to communicate openly with the policyholder about any issues or limitations affecting their claim. Ignoring or delaying disclosure could undermine trust and fairness in the claims handling process. Denying the claim without explanation or delaying the process unnecessarily would not align with ethical standards in insurance adjusting. Question 45. Casualty insurance. Which of the following best describes a subrogation in the context of casualty insurance in Georgia? A. The process of an insurer investigating a claim to determine its validity. B. The legal right of an insurer to pursue a third party responsible for a loss to the insured. C. The transfer of insurance coverage to another party without policyholder consent. D. The cancellation of an insurance policy due to non-payment of premiums. Answer: B. The legal right of an insurer to pursue a third party responsible for a loss to the insured. Explanation: subrogation in casualty insurance refers to the insurer's legal right to pursue a third party responsible for a loss to the insured. After paying a claim, the insurer may seek reimbursement from parties whose actions or negligence caused the loss. This process helps insurers recover costs and prevent policyholders from benefiting twice for the same loss. Options A, C, and D describe different concepts unrelated to subrogation in insurance. Question 46. Insurance policy analysis. What role does the declarations page play in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. It outlines the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. B. It specifies the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. C. It summarizes the insured's coverage limits and policy details. D. It defines the effective date of the insurance policy. Answer: C. It summarizes the Insured's coverage limits and policy details. Explanation. The declarations page in an insurance policy in Georgia summarizes key information such as the insured's coverage limits, policy details, and specific endorsements. It provides a snapshot of the policy's terms and conditions, including insured property, coverage amounts, deductibles, and premium amounts. Options A, B, and D describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy, such as the insuring agreement, conditions, and policy inception details. Question 47. Insurance claims. Scenario. Rachel, a renter in Georgia, experiences a break-in at her apartment. Several valuable items are stolen, and Rachel files a claim with her renter's insurance company. The insurer investigates the claim and determines that the stolen items are covered under Rachel's policy. What should Rachel expect during the claim's settlement process? A. Immediate payment for the full value of the stolen items. B. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. C. A detailed investigation into her personal background. D. No further communication until the stolen items are recovered. Answer. B. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation. After investigating and confirming coverage, Rachel should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the stolen items based on their assessment. Rachel can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the value of the stolen items. Immediate payment, detailed investigation into personal background, or no further communication until recovery are less likely steps in the claims settlement process. Question 48. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario. Mark, an insurance agent in Georgia, is advising a client on purchasing life insurance. Mark knows that disclosing certain medical information would likely increase the client's premium. The client has not asked about this specific information. What ethical principle should Mark follow in this situation? A. Disclose the medical information to the client to ensure transparency. B. Withhold the medical information to avoid increasing the client's premium. C. Recommend a different insurance policy that does not require medical disclosure. D. Advise the client to reconsider purchasing life insurance. Answer A. Disclose the medical information to the client to ensure transparency. Explanation. In this situation, Mark should prioritize the ethical principle of honesty and transparency by disclosing the medical information to the client even if the client has not asked about it specifically. Insurance agents have a duty to provide clients with accurate and relevant information that could impact their decisions, such as the potential effect of medical disclosures on premiums. Withholding such information could be misleading and undermine the client-agent relationship. Recommending different policies or advising against insurance without full disclosure would not align with ethical standards in insurance sales. Question 49. Insurance underwriting. What is the primary purpose of risk assessment in insurance underwriting in Georgia? A. To determine the insurer's profitability from issuing a policy. B. To evaluate the likelihood of a claim based on the applicant's characteristics. C. To establish the terms and conditions of the insurance policy. D. To calculate the premium amount based on market trends. Answer. B. To evaluate the likelihood of a claim based on the applicant's characteristics. Explanation. In insurance underwriting in Georgia, risk assessment primarily involves evaluating the likelihood of a claim based on the applicant's characteristics, such as age, health status, occupation, and lifestyle. This assessment helps insurers determine the level of risk posed by insuring the applicant and decide whether to issue a policy and at what terms, including coverage limits and premiums. What profitability and premium calculation are considerations? Risk assessment focuses on predicting the frequency and severity of potential claims based on applicant risk factors. Question 50. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do emerging risks and exposures impact insurance underwriting practices in Georgia? A. They lead to stricter underwriting guidelines and higher premiums. B. They result in reduced coverage options for policyholders. C. They necessitate increased paperwork and administrative tasks. D. They require insurers to offer discounts to policyholders. Answer A. They lead to stricter underwriting guidelines and higher premiums. Explanation: emerging risks and exposures in the insurance industry in Georgia often lead to stricter underwriting guidelines and higher premiums. Insurers adjust their underwriting practices to account for new or evolving risks, such as cyber threats or climate change-related hazards, by implementing stricter criteria for policy issuance and adjusting premium rates to reflect increased risk. This approach helps insurers manage exposure to emerging risks while ensuring policyholders have appropriate coverage. Reduced coverage options, increased administrative tasks, or mandatory discounts are less common responses to emerging risks. Question 51. Types of property insurance policies. Which of the following best describes a named perils insurance policy in Georgia? A. It covers all risks except those specifically excluded in the policy. B. It covers only perils explicitly listed in the policy. C. It automatically renews each year without policyholder consent. D. It requires the insured to pay a fixed premium amount each month. Answer: B. It covers only perils explicitly listed in the policy. Explanation: a named perils insurance policy in Georgia specifically covers only the perils, such as fire, theft, or vandalism, that are explicitly listed in the policy. Unlike all risks or open perils policies, which cover all risks except those specifically excluded, named perils policies provide coverage for a defined set of risks. The policyholder must review and understand which perils are covered under this type of policy, as any risks not explicitly named are typically not covered. Options C and D describe characteristics unrelated to the type of insurance policy in terms of perils covered and premium payment terms. Question 52. Insurance contracts. What is the significance of conditions in an insurance contract in Georgia? A. They specify the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. B. They outline the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. C. They define the effective date of the insurance policy. D. They summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. Answer: A. They specify the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. Explanation: conditions in an insurance contract in Georgia specify the responsibilities and obligations of the insured in case of a claim or loss. These conditions typically outline requirements such as notifying the insurer promptly after loss, cooperating in the claims investigation, and mitigating further damage. They help clarify the insured's duties under the policy terms to ensure compliance and eligibility for coverage. Options B, C, and D describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy, such as insuring agreements, policy inception details, and declarations pages. Question 53. Insurance claims. Scenario: Emily, a homeowner in Georgia, experiences severe roof damage due to a hailstorm. She files a claim with her homeowner's insurance company. The insurer sends an adjuster to assess the damage and determines that it is covered under Emily's policy. What should Emily expect during the claims settlement process? A. Immediate payment for the full estimated repair costs. B. A detailed investigation into the cause of the hailstorm. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until the repairs are completed. Answer: C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation: after the adjuster assesses the damage and confirms coverage, Emily should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages based on their assessment. Emily can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate payment, detailed investigation into the hailstorm's cause, or no further communication until repairs are completed are less likely steps in the claims settlement process. Question 54. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is most relevant for underwriters when assessing an applicant's eligibility for homeowners insurance in Georgia? A. The applicant's credit history. B. The applicant's educational background. C. The applicant's driving record. D. The applicant's employment history. Answer: A. The applicant's credit history. Explanation: when assessing eligibility for homeowners insurance in Georgia, underwriters often consider the applicant's credit history as a significant factor. Credit history helps insurers assess financial responsibility and stability, which can correlate with the likelihood of filing claims. Factors like educational background, driving record, and employment history may have minimal impact on homeowners insurance underwriting compared to credit history. Question 55. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of exclusions in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. To limit the insurer's liability by excluding coverage for certain risks. B. To specify the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. C. To define the effective date of the insurance policy. D. To summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. Answer A. To limit the insurer's liability by excluding coverage for certain risks. Explanation. Exclusions in an insurance policy in Georgia serve the purpose of limiting the insurer's liability by explicitly excluding coverage for certain risks or perils. These exclusions outline situations or circumstances in which the insurer will not provide coverage, even if other aspects of the policy would typically cover the claim. This helps clarify the scope of coverage and potential limitations under the policy. Options B, C, and D describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy, such as conditions, policy inception details, and declarations pages. Question 56. Workers' compensation insurance. What role does the exclusive remedy provision play in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia? A. It limits the benefits available to injured employees under the policy. B. It allows employees to sue their employers for workplace injuries. C. It ensures that injured employees receive compensation regardless of fault. D. It exempts certain employers from providing workers' compensation coverage. Answer. C. It ensures that injured employees receive compensation regardless of fault. Explanation. The exclusive remedy provision in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia ensures that injured employees receive compensation for workplace injuries or illnesses through the workers' compensation system, regardless of fault. In exchange for receiving these benefits, employees generally forfeit the right to sue their employers for additional damages related to the injury, except in limited circumstances such as intentional harm. This provision helps provide timely benefits to injured workers while protecting employers from potentially costly lawsuits. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of workers' compensation but do not accurately reflect the exclusive remedy provision. Question 57. Casualty insurance. Which of the following best describes liability insurance in the context of casualty insurance in Georgia? A. Coverage that protects the insured against financial loss due to damage to their own property. B. Coverage that compensates the insured for medical expenses regardless of fault. C. Coverage that protects the insured against legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. D. Coverage that reimburses the insured for losses caused by specific perils named in the policy. Answer. C. Coverage that protects the insured against legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. Explanation. Liability insurance in the context of casualty insurance in Georgia protects the insured against legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages caused by the insured's actions or negligence. This coverage typically includes legal defense costs and settlements or judgments awarded in lawsuits against the insured. It is crucial for individuals and businesses to mitigate financial risks associated with liability claims. Options A, B, and D describe other types of insurance coverage but do not accurately define liability insurance in the context of casualty insurance. Question 58. Insurance claims. Scenario. Alex, a homeowner in Georgia, experiences a burst pipe that causes significant water damage to his property. He files a claim with his homeowner's insurance company. The insurer investigates the claim and confirms coverage under Alex's policy. What should Alex expect during the claim's settlement process? A. Immediate payment for the full estimated repair costs. B. A detailed investigation into the cause of the burst pipe. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until the repairs are completed. Answer. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation. After confirming coverage, Alex should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages based on their assessment. Alex can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate payment, detailed investigation into the burst pipe's cause, or no further communication until repairs are completed are less likely steps in the claim's settlement process. Question 59. Insurance underwriting. What role does loss control play in insurance underwriting practices in Georgia? A. It refers to the process of investigating and evaluating claims. B. It involves assessing the financial stability of the applicant. C. It focuses on minimizing the frequency and severity of potential losses. D. It determines the premium amount based on market trends. Answer: C. It focuses on minimizing the frequency and severity of potential losses. Explanation: Loss control in insurance underwriting practices in Georgia involves strategies and measures aimed at minimizing the frequency and severity of potential losses for insurers. Insurers implement loss control measures to mitigate risks associated with policyholders and their properties or activities. These measures may include safety inspections, risk assessments, and recommendations for risk reduction or prevention. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance underwriting but do not accurately reflect the role of loss control in managing risks. Question 60. State insurance laws and regulations. What is the role of the Georgia Insurance Department in overseeing insurance activities within the state? A. To promote insurance products that offer the lowest premiums. B. To enforce federal regulations on insurance companies operating in Georgia. C. To regulate insurance rates and approve policy forms. D. To provide financial assistance to insurance companies during economic crises. Answer: C. To regulate insurance rates and approve policy forms. Explanation: The Georgia Insurance Department plays a crucial role in overseeing insurance activities within the state by regulating insurance rates and approving policy forms. Its regulatory oversight ensures that insurance products sold in Georgia comply with state laws and meet minimum standards for consumer protection. The department does not promote specific insurance products based on premium costs, enforce federal regulations, or provide financial assistance to insurers during economic crises, which are outside its regulatory scope. Question 61. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario: Jane, an insurance agent in Georgia, is advising a client on purchasing homeowners insurance. The client asks Jane about the need for additional coverage beyond the standard policy limits. Jane knows that recommending additional coverage would increase the client's premium significantly. What ethical principle should Jane prioritize in this situation? A. Advising the client to purchase the additional coverage to maximize commission. B. Disclosing the potential benefits and drawbacks of additional coverage options. C. Withholding information about additional coverage to avoid complicating the decision. D. Suggesting a different insurance policy with low premiums. Answer: B. Disclosing the potential benefits and drawbacks of additional coverage options. Explanation: In this scenario, Jane should prioritize the ethical principle of providing full disclosure by explaining the potential benefits and drawbacks of additional coverage options to the client. This allows the client to make an informed decision based on their individual needs and financial situation. Withholding information or steering the client towards higher premiums solely to maximize commission would not align with ethical standards in insurance sales. Suggesting alternatives or discussing various coverage options promotes transparency and helps build trust with the client. Question 62. Insurance policy analysis. What does the insuring agreement section of an insurance policy in Georgia typically cover? A. It outlines the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. B. It specifies the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. C. It summarizes the insured's coverage limits and policy details. D. It defines the scope of coverage provided by the insurer. Answer: D. It defines the scope of coverage provided by the insurer. Explanation: The insuring agreements section of an insurance policy in Georgia typically defines the scope of coverage provided by the insurer. It outlines the risks or perils covered under the policy, conditions under which coverage applies, and any exclusions or limitations. This section establishes the contractual agreement between the insurer and the insured regarding the specific risks or events for which coverage is provided. Options A, B, and C describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy, such as conditions, legal defense obligations, and declarations pages. Question 63. Insurance claims. Scenario: David, a policyholder in Georgia, files an auto insurance claim after his vehicle is damaged in a hit-and-run accident. The insurer investigates the claim and determines that the damage is covered under David's policy. What should David expect during the claims settlement process? A. Immediate payment for the full estimated repair costs. B. A detailed investigation into the cause of the hit-and-run accident. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until the vehicle repairs are completed. Answer: C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation: after confirming coverage, David should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages based on their assessment of the hit-and-run accident. David can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate payment, detailed investigation into the accident's cause, or no further communication until repairs are completed are less likely steps in the claims settlement process. Question 64. Insurance underwriting. What is the role of underwriting guidelines in insurance practices in Georgia? A. To establish the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. B. To assess the financial stability of the applicant. C. To provide guidance on assessing and accepting risks. D. To calculate the premium amount based on market trends. Answer: C. To provide guidance on assessing and accepting risks. Explanation: underwriting guidelines in insurance practices in Georgia provide guidance on assessing and accepting risks presented by insurance applicants. These guidelines help underwriters evaluate factors such as applicant demographics, claims history, and risk exposures to determine whether to issue a policy, what coverage limits to offer, and at what premium rate. They ensure consistency and fairness in decision-making while managing risk effectively. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance practices but do not accurately reflect the role of underwriting guidelines. Question 65. Insurance policy analysis. What does the endorsements section of an insurance policy in Georgia typically refer to? A. The additional coverage options that can be added to the policy. B. The insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. C. The effective date and duration of the insurance policy. D. The insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. Answer A. Additional coverage options that can be added to the policy. Explanation: the endorsement section of an insurance policy in Georgia typically refers to additional coverage options that can be added to the policy to modify or expand coverage beyond the standard terms and conditions. Endorsements may address specific needs or risks not adequately covered by the base policy, such as adding coverage for valuable personal property, increasing liability limits, or extending coverage to additional locations. Options B, C, and D describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy, such as conditions, policy duration, and legal defense obligations. Question 66. State insurance laws and regulations. What is the purpose of producer licensing requirements in Georgia's insurance regulations? A. To regulate insurance rates and approve policy forms. B. To ensure that insurance companies remain financially solvent. C. To provide consumer protection against fraudulent practices. D. To authorize individuals to sell insurance products legally. Answer: D. To authorize individuals to sell insurance products legally. Explanation: producer licensing requirements in Georgia's insurance regulations serve the purpose of authorizing individuals, agents, brokers to legally sell insurance products within the state. Licensing ensures that producers meet minimum competency standards, understand insurance laws and regulations, and uphold ethical standards in their interactions with consumers. This regulatory oversight helps protect consumers by ensuring that licensed producers have the knowledge and qualifications necessary to provide accurate insurance advice and services. Options A, B, and C describe different aspects of insurance regulation but do not accurately reflect the purpose of producer licensing requirements. Question 67. Insurance claims. Scenario: Sarah, a homeowner in Georgia, experiences a fire that causes extensive damage to her property. She files a claim with her homeowner's insurance company. The insurer investigates the claim and confirms coverage under Sarah's policy. What should Sarah expect during the claim settlement process? A. Immediate payment for the full estimated repair costs. B. A detailed investigation into the cause of the fire. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until the property is rebuilt. Answer: C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation: after confirming coverage, Sarah should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages based on their assessment of the fire damage. Sarah can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate payment, detailed investigation into the fire's cause, or no further communication until the property is rebuilt are less likely steps in the claims settlement process. Question 68. Casualty insurance. What is the primary purpose of auto liability insurance in Georgia? A. To cover damage to the insured's own vehicle in case of an accident. B. To protect the insured against legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. C. To provide medical coverage for injuries sustained by the insured in an auto accident. D. To reimburse the insured for losses caused by theft or vandalism of the insured vehicle. Answer: B. To protect the insured against legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. Explanation: auto liability insurance in Georgia primarily serves to protect the insured against legal responsibilities, liability to third parties for injuries or damages caused by the insured's vehicle. This coverage typically includes bodily injury liability and property damage liability, helping to cover costs such as medical bills, vehicle repairs, and legal expenses resulting from an accident where the insured is at fault. Options A, C, and D describe other types of auto insurance coverage but do not accurately reflect the primary purpose of liability insurance. Question 69. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do advancements in technology impact insurance underwriting practices in Georgia? A. They increase the complexity of policy forms and endorsements. B. They streamline the claims handling process for insurers. C. They reduce the need for consumer protection regulations. D. They improve risk assessment and data analysis capabilities. Answer: D. They improve risk assessment and data analysis capabilities. Explanation: advancements in technology in Georgia impact insurance underwriting practices by improving risk assessment and data analysis capabilities. Insurers can leverage technology such as predictive analytics and artificial intelligence to analyze large volumes of data and assess risks more accurately. This enables insurers to make more informed underwriting decisions, optimize pricing, and offer customized insurance products based on individual risk profiles. Options A, B, and C describe potential impacts of technology in the insurance industry but do not accurately reflect the primary benefit of improving risk assessment and data analysis capabilities. Question 70. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario: Mark, an insurance agent in Georgia, is assisting a client with purchasing life insurance. The client has disclosed a pre-existing medical condition that may affect the coverage terms and premium rates. Mark is aware that disclosing this condition honestly could result in higher premiums for the client. What ethical principle should Mark prioritize in this situation? A. Recommending the client to withhold information to keep premiums low. B. Advising the client to misrepresent their medical history to obtain low premiums. C. Disclosing the client's medical condition honestly to the insurance company. D. Suggesting the client purchase a different type of insurance to avoid medical disclosures. Answer: C. Disclosing the client's medical condition honestly to the insurance company. Explanation: in this scenario, Mark should prioritize the ethical principle of honesty and disclosure by advising the client to disclose their pre-existing medical condition honestly to the insurance company. This ensures transparency and compliance with insurance application requirements. Withholding or misrepresenting information could lead to coverage denial or cancellation, which would not be in the client's best interest. Suggesting alternative insurance types or misrepresentation would not align with ethical standards in insurance sales. Question 71. Insurance policy analysis. What does the declarations page of an insurance policy in Georgia typically include? A. The insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. B. The effective date and duration of the insurance policy. C. A summary of the insured's coverage limits and policy details. D. The insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. Answer: C. A summary of the insured's coverage limits and policy details. Explanation: The declarations page of an insurance policy in Georgia typically includes a summary of the insured's coverage limits and policy details. It provides specific information such as the insured's name and address, policy period, effective dates, types of coverage, limits of liability, deductibles, and premium amounts. This document helps policyholders understand the scope and terms of their insurance coverage at a glance. Options A, B, and D describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy, such as conditions, policy duration, and legal defense obligations. Question 72. Workers' compensation insurance. What is the purpose of a subrogation in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia? A. To require employers to provide compensation for workplace injuries. B. To prevent injured employees from seeking additional damages in court. C. To allow injured employees to sue their employers for negligence. D. To recover compensation paid to employees from third parties responsible for the injury. Answer: D. To recover compensation paid to employees from third parties responsible for the injury. Explanation: Subrogation in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia allows insurers to recover compensation paid to injured employees from third parties responsible for the injury. If a third party, such as a negligent contractor or manufacturer, contributed to the workplace injury, the workers' compensation insurer may pursue subrogation to recover costs. This helps mitigate the financial impact of claims on insurers and encourages responsible parties to maintain safe work environments. Options A, B, and C describe other aspects of workers' compensation but do not accurately reflect the purpose of subrogation. Question 73. Insurance underwriting. What factors do insurance underwriters in Georgia typically consider when assessing the risk of insuring a commercial property? A. The property's historical significance. B. The property's location and proximity to fire stations. C. The property owner's educational background. D. The property owner's personal hobbies and interests. Answer: B. The property's location and proximity to fire stations. Explanation: Insurance underwriters in Georgia typically consider factors such as the property's location and proximity to fire stations when assessing the risk of insuring a commercial property. The location influences risks associated with natural disasters, crime rates, and emergency response times, which can impact insurance premiums and coverage terms. Factors like historical significance, educational background of the owner, and personal hobbies are generally unrelated to property insurance underwriting considerations. Question 74. Insurance claims scenario. Michael, a policyholder in Georgia, files a claim with his auto insurance company after his vehicle was vandalized. The insurer investigates the claim and confirms coverage under Michael's policy. What should Michael expect during the claims settlement process? A. Immediate payment for the full estimated repair costs. B. A detailed investigation into the cause of the vandalism. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until the vehicle repairs are completed. Answer: C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation: After confirming coverage, Michael should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages based on their assessment of the vandalism. Michael can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate payment, detailed investigation into the vandalism's cause, or no further communication until repairs are completed are less likely steps in the claims settlement process. Question 75. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does the Georgia Insurance Commissioner play in overseeing insurance activities within the state? A. To market insurance products to consumers. B. To enforce traffic laws related to insurance. C. To regulate insurance rates and approve policy forms. D. To conduct medical examinations for insurance applicants. Answer: C. To regulate insurance rates and approve policy forms. Explanation: The Georgia Insurance Commissioner plays a crucial role in overseeing insurance activities within the state by regulating insurance rates and approving policy forms. This regulatory oversight ensures that insurance products sold in Georgia comply with state laws, are fair to consumers, and meet minimum standards for coverage. Options A. B and D describe activities or roles outside the scope of the insurance commissioner's responsibilities in insurance regulation. Question 76. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of endorsements in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. To summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. B. To provide guidance on assessing and accepting risks. C. To modify or add coverage beyond the standard policy terms. D. To determine the premium amount based on market trends. Answer. C. To modify or add coverage beyond the standard policy terms. Explanation. Endorsements in an insurance policy in Georgia serve the purpose of modifying or adding coverage beyond the standard policy terms. They allow policyholders to customize their insurance coverage to better meet their specific needs or to address unique risks not adequately covered by the base policy. Endorsements may include provisions for additional insureds, increased coverage limits, or specific exclusions based on the policyholder's requirements. Options A, B, and D describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy but do not accurately reflect the purpose of endorsements. Question 77. Casualty insurance. What role does legal liability play in casualty insurance in Georgia? A. It protects the insured against financial loss due to damage to their own property. B. It compensates the insured for medical expenses regardless of fault. C. It covers the insured's legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. D. It reimburses the insured for losses caused by specific perils named in the policy. Answer. C. It covers the insured's legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. Explanation. Legal liability in casualty insurance in Georgia covers the insured's legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages caused by the insured's actions or negligence. This coverage includes legal defense costs, settlements, or judgments awarded in lawsuits against the insured. It is essential for individuals and businesses to protect themselves financially against potential liability claims arising from accidents or incidents where they are found legally responsible. Options A, B, and D describe other types of insurance coverage but do not accurately reflect the role of legal liability in casualty insurance. Question 78. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do emerging risks and exposures impact insurance practices in Georgia? A. They lead to standardized insurance policy forms across all states. B. They require insurers to decrease premiums for all policyholders. C. They necessitate adjustments in underwriting guidelines and coverage options. D. They increase the availability of government-subsidized insurance programs. Answer. C. They necessitate adjustments in underwriting guidelines and coverage options. Explanation. Emerging risks and exposures impact insurance practices in Georgia by necessitating adjustments in underwriting guidelines and coverage options. Insurers must adapt to new or evolving risks such as cyber threats, climate change-related risks, or technological advancements affecting liability exposures. This adaptation includes revising underwriting criteria, developing new insurance products, and enhancing risk management strategies to effectively mitigate emerging risks. Options A, B, and D describe potential impacts of emerging risks but do not accurately reflect the primary response of adjusting underwriting guidelines and coverage options. Question 79. Insurance claims. Scenario. Emily, a homeowner in Georgia, experiences severe roof damage due to a recent storm. She promptly notifies her homeowner's insurance company and files a claim. The insurer conducts an investigation and confirms coverage under Emily's policy. What steps should Emily expect during the claims handling process? A. Immediate reimbursement for all repair costs incurred. B. A detailed inspection of the damaged property by the insurer. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. D. No further communication until the claim is resolved. Answer. C. Receipt of the insurance company's initial settlement offer. Explanation. After confirming coverage, Emily should expect to receive the insurance company's initial settlement offer. This offer outlines the amount the insurer is willing to pay for the covered damages based on their assessment of the storm damage. Emily can review the offer and negotiate if necessary to ensure it adequately covers the repair costs. Immediate reimbursement, detailed inspection of the property, or no further communication until the claim is resolved are less likely steps in the claims handling process. Question 80. Insurance underwriting. What role does loss control play in insurance underwriting practices in Georgia? A. It involves assessing the financial stability of the insurance applicant. B. It focuses on minimizing the frequency and severity of potential losses. C. It determines the premium amount based on market trends. D. It ensures compliance with state insurance regulations. Answer: B. It focuses on minimizing the frequency and severity of potential losses. Explanation: Loss control in insurance underwriting practices in Georgia focuses on strategies and measures to minimize the frequency and severity of potential losses. Insurers implement loss control techniques such as risk assessments, safety inspections, and recommendations for risk reduction to mitigate risks associated with policyholders and their properties or activities. This proactive approach helps insurers manage claims costs and maintain profitability. Options A, C, and D describe different aspects of insurance practices but do not accurately reflect the role of loss control in underwriting. Question 81. Workers' compensation insurance. What is the purpose of subrogation in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia? A. To require employers to provide compensation for workplace injuries. B. To prevent injured employees from seeking additional damages in court. C. To allow injured employees to sue their employers for negligence. D. To recover compensation paid to employees from third parties responsible for the injury. Answer: D. To recover compensation paid to employees from third parties responsible for the injury. Explanation: Subrogation in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia allows insurers to recover compensation paid to injured employees from third parties responsible for the injury. If a third party, such as a negligent contractor or manufacturer, contributed to the workplace injury, the workers' compensation insurer may pursue subrogation to recover costs. This helps mitigate the financial impact of claims on insurers and encourages responsible parties to maintain safe work environments. Options A, B, and C describe other aspects of workers' compensation but do not accurately reflect the purpose of subrogation. Question 82. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario: Adam, an insurance agent in Georgia, is advising a client on purchasing a life insurance policy. The client asks Adam about the financial strength and stability of the insurance company issuing the policy. Adam is aware that the company has recently faced financial difficulties. What ethical principle should Adam prioritize in this situation? A. Assuring the client that the company's financial troubles are temporary. B. Advising the client to switch to a different insurance company. C. Providing accurate and honest information about the company's financial condition. D. Downplaying the importance of the company's financial stability to avoid concerns. Answer: C. Providing accurate and honest information about the company's financial condition. Explanation: In this scenario, Adam should prioritize the ethical principle of providing accurate and honest information about the insurance company's financial condition to the client. Transparency is crucial in helping clients make informed decisions about their insurance purchases, especially regarding the financial stability of the insurer. Options A, B, and D do not align with ethical standards as they involve either misleading the client or avoiding addressing legitimate concerns about the insurer's financial stability. Question 83. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of exclusions in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. To summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. B. To limit the insurer's liability by excluding certain risks or perils. C. To provide guidance on assessing and accepting risks. D. To determine the premium amount based on market trends. Answer: B. To limit the insurer's liability by excluding certain risks or perils. Explanation: Exclusions in an insurance policy in Georgia serve the purpose of limiting the insurer's liability by excluding coverage for specific risks, perils, or conditions. These exclusions are typically detailed in the policy language and specify circumstances under which the insurer will not provide coverage. They help insurers manage risks by clearly defining the scope of coverage and mitigating potential losses associated with high-risk events. Options A, C, and D describe functions typically performed by other sections of the insurance policy but do not accurately reflect the purpose of exclusions. Question 84. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does a consumer protection play in Georgia's insurance regulations? A. To regulate insurance rates and approve policy forms. B. To market insurance products to consumers effectively. C. To provide legal representation to consumers in insurance disputes. D. To ensure fair treatment and practices by insurance companies towards consumers. Answer: D. To ensure fair treatment and practices by insurance companies towards consumers. Explanation: consumer protection in Georgia's insurance regulations plays a critical role in ensuring fair treatment and practices by insurance companies towards consumers. It involves regulatory measures that safeguard consumers' interests, such as monitoring insurance practices, investigating consumer complaints, and enforcing laws that promote transparency and fairness in insurance transactions. Options A, B, and C describe different aspects of insurance regulation but do not accurately reflect the primary role of consumer protection. Question 85. Insurance underwriting. What is the significance of a risk assessment in insurance underwriting practices in Georgia? A. It determines the premium amount based on market trends. B. It evaluates the financial stability of the insurance applicant. C. It assesses the likelihood and potential impact of insured risks. D. It establishes the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. Answer: C. It assesses the likelihood and potential impact of insured risks. Explanation: risk assessment in insurance underwriting practices in Georgia involves evaluating the likelihood and potential impact of insured risks. Insurers use various factors, such as the applicant's claims history, property location, and exposure to hazards, to assess the level of risk associated with providing coverage. This assessment helps insurers determine appropriate premiums, coverage limits, and underwriting terms to manage and mitigate potential losses effectively. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance practices but do not accurately reflect the significance of risk assessment in underwriting. Question 86. Insurance claims. Scenario: Maria, a policyholder in Georgia, is involved in a car accident where she is not at fault. She sustains injuries and incurs medical expenses. Maria files a claim with her auto insurance company for compensation. What role does subrogation play in this situation? A. It requires Maria to reimburse the insurer for the medical expenses incurred. B. It allows Maria to file a lawsuit against the at-fault driver directly. C. It enables the insurer to recover the claim amount from the at-fault driver's insurance. D. It prevents Maria from seeking additional compensation for her injuries. Answer: C. It enables the insurer to recover the claim amount from the at-fault driver's insurance. Explanation: subrogation in this situation allows Maria's auto insurance company to recover the claim amount paid to her from the at-fault driver's insurance company. When an insurer pays a claim on behalf of its policyholder who is not at fault, it has the right of subrogation to seek reimbursement from the responsible party or their insurer. This helps insurers recover costs and prevent double recovery for the same loss. Options A, B, and D describe different scenarios but do not accurately reflect the role of subrogation in this context. Question 87. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do regulatory changes impact insurance practices in Georgia? A. They decrease the availability of insurance products in the market. B. They increase consumer demand for insurance coverage. C. They require insurers to adjust policies and procedures to comply with new laws. D. They lead to standardized insurance policy forms across all states. Answer: C. They require insurers to adjust policies and procedures to comply with new laws. Explanation: regulatory changes in Georgia impact insurance practices by requiring insurers to adjust policies, procedures, and business practices to comply with new laws and regulations. These changes may include updates to coverage requirements, policy forms, underwriting guidelines, and consumer protections mandated by state authorities. Insurers must stay informed about regulatory updates and make necessary adjustments to ensure compliance while continuing to meet the needs of policyholders. Options A, B, and D describe potential impacts of regulatory changes but do not accurately reflect the primary response of adjusting policies and procedures. Question 88. Insurance policy analysis. What role does the insuring agreement play in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. It provides a summary of the insured's coverage limits and policy details. B. It outlines the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. C. It specifies the perils or risks covered under the insurance policy. D. It determines the premium amount based on the insured's risk profile. Answer: C. It specifies the perils or risks covered under the insurance policy. Explanation: the insuring agreement in an insurance policy in Georgia specifies the perils or risks covered under the policy. It defines the scope of coverage provided by the insurer, outlining the circumstances under which the insurer will compensate the insured for covered losses. This section is crucial as it clarifies what events or damages are eligible for insurance coverage, helping policyholders understand the protection offered by their insurance policy. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance policies but do not accurately reflect the role of the insuring agreement. Question 89. Casualty insurance. What is the purpose of liability insurance in casualty insurance in Georgia? A. To cover damage to the insured's own property in case of an accident. B. To protect the insured against legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. C. To provide medical coverage for injuries sustained by the insured in an accident. D. To reimburse the insured for losses caused by theft or vandalism of the insured property. Answer: B. To protect the insured against legal responsibilities to third parties for injuries or damages. Explanation: liability insurance in casualty insurance in Georgia serves the purpose of protecting the insured against legal responsibilities, liability to third parties for injuries or damages caused by the insured's actions or negligence. This coverage includes legal defense costs, settlements or judgments awarded in lawsuits against the insured, helping to mitigate financial risks associated with liability claims. Options A, C, and D describe other types of insurance coverage but do not accurately reflect the purpose of liability insurance in casualty insurance. Question 90. Workers' compensation insurance. What role does exclusive remedy play in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia? A. It restricts injured employees from seeking additional compensation through lawsuits against employers. B. It allows injured employees to choose their preferred medical providers for treatment. C. It requires employers to provide compensation for workplace injuries regardless of fault. D. It mandates periodic inspections of workplaces to ensure safety standards are met. Answer A. It restricts injured employees from seeking additional compensation through lawsuits against employers. Explanation: in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia, the concept of exclusive remedy restricts injured employees from seeking additional compensation through lawsuits against their employers. Instead of suing their employer for negligence, injured workers are generally limited to the benefits provided by workers' compensation insurance, such as medical expenses and lost wages. This legal framework aims to provide prompt and certain benefits to injured employees while shielding employers from extensive liability claims. Options B, C, and D describe different aspects of workers' compensation but do not accurately reflect the role of exclusive remedy. Question 91. Insurance contract formation. What are the essential elements required for the formation of a valid insurance contract in Georgia? A. Offer and acceptance, consideration, and legal capacity. B. Insurability, waiver of premium and optional benefits. C. Suretyship, binding authority, and indemnity. D. Subrogation, representation, and warranty. Answer A. Offer and acceptance, consideration, and legal capacity. Explanation: in Georgia, the essential elements required for the formation of a valid insurance contract include offer and acceptance, consideration, premium payment, and legal capacity of the parties involved. Offer and acceptance signify mutual agreement between the insurer and the insured regarding the terms of coverage. Consideration involves the payment of premiums in exchange for the insurer's promise to provide coverage. Legal capacity ensures that both parties have the legal competence to enter into the contract. Options B, C, and D describe terms related to insurance but do not accurately reflect the essential elements of contract formation. Question 92. Insurance claims. Scenario: Sarah, a homeowner in Georgia, discovers water damage in her basement due to a burst pipe. She promptly notifies her homeowner's insurance company and files a claim. The insurer conducts an investigation and confirms coverage under Sarah's policy. What is the purpose of the claims handling process in this situation? A. To determine the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. B. To investigate the cause and extent of the water damage. C. To calculate the premium adjustment for future policy renewals. D. To evaluate the coverage and settle the claim fairly and promptly. Answer: D. To evaluate the coverage and settle the claim fairly and promptly. Explanation: the claims handling process in this situation serves the purpose of evaluating the coverage under SERA's policy, investigating the cause and extent of the water damage, and settling the claim fairly and promptly. It involves assessing the validity of the claim, estimating the damage, and determining the appropriate compensation based on the terms of the insurance policy. Options A, C, and D describe different aspects of insurance practices but do not accurately reflect the purpose of the claims handling process in selling claims. Question 93. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does the Georgia Insurance Department play in regulating insurance activities within the state? A. To market insurance products to consumers effectively. B. To enforce traffic laws related to insurance. C. To oversee insurance company operations and ensure compliance with state laws. D. To conduct medical examinations for insurance applicants. Answer: C. To oversee insurance company operations and ensure compliance with state laws. Explanation: the Georgia Insurance Department plays a critical role in regulating insurance activities within the state by overseeing insurance company operations and ensuring compliance with state laws. It monitors insurer solvency, licenses insurance professionals, investigates consumer complaints, and enforces laws related to insurance practices. This regulatory oversight aims to protect consumers, promote fair competition, and maintain the stability of the insurance market in Georgia. Options A, B, and D describe different activities or roles outside the scope of the Georgia Insurance Department's responsibilities in insurance regulation. Question 94. Insurance policy analysis. What role do conditions play in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. They summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. B. They outline the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. C. They specify the circumstances under which coverage applies or may be limited. D. They determine the premium amount based on the insured's risk profile. Answer: C. They specify the circumstances under which coverage applies or may be limited. Explanation: conditions in an insurance policy in Georgia specify the circumstances under which coverage applies or may be limited. These conditions often include requirements for the insured to fulfill certain obligations, such as notifying the insurer of a claim promptly or cooperating in the claims investigation process. By defining these conditions, the policy clarifies the responsibilities of both the insurer and the insured, ensuring that coverage is applied appropriately under various circumstances. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance policies but do not accurately reflect the role of conditions. Question 95. Insurance underwriting. What factors do insurance underwriters in Georgia typically consider when evaluating an applicant for life insurance coverage? A. The applicant's income and employment history. B. The applicant's driving record and traffic violations. C. The applicant's medical history and current health condition. D. The applicant's educational background and academic achievements. Answer: C. The applicant's medical history and current health condition. Explanation: insurance underwriters in Georgia typically consider factors such as the applicant's medical history and current health condition when evaluating an applicant for life insurance coverage. This information helps underwriters assess the applicant's risk of mortality and determine the appropriate premiums and coverage limits. Factors like income, driving record, and educational background may be relevant for other types of insurance but are not primary considerations for life insurance underwriting. Option C aligns with standard underwriting practices for life insurance. Question 96. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario: John, an insurance agent in Georgia, is advising a client on purchasing a homeowner's insurance policy. The client asks John about the coverage limits for personal belongings in the policy. John is aware that the policy offers optional endorsements for increased coverage limits but does not disclose this information to the client. What ethical principle has John violated in this scenario? A. Honesty and transparency. B. Conflict of interest. C. Professional competence. D. Confidentiality. Answer A. Honesty and transparency. Explanation: In this scenario, John has violated the ethical principle of honesty and transparency by failing to disclose relevant information about optional endorsements for increased coverage limits to the client. Insurance agents have a duty to provide accurate and complete information to clients, enabling them to make informed decisions about their insurance purchases. Options B, C, and D describe other ethical principles or considerations but do not accurately reflect the violation committed by John. Question 97. Workers' compensation insurance. What is the purpose of a medical management in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia? A. To provide medical treatment to injured employees regardless of fault. B. To manage and coordinate medical care for injured employees. C. To determine the premium amount based on the employer's industry. D. To establish guidelines for workplace safety and accident prevention. Answer. B. To manage and coordinate medical care for injured employees. Explanation. Medical management in workers' compensation insurance in Georgia involves managing and coordinating medical care for injured employees. It includes ensuring that injured workers receive appropriate medical treatment, facilitating communication between healthcare providers, employers, and insurers, and monitoring the progress of medical recovery. Effective medical management helps injured employees recover and return to work promptly while controlling healthcare costs related to workers' compensation claims. Options A, C, and D describe different aspects of workers' compensation but do not accurately reflect the purpose of medical management. Question 98. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do technological advancements impact insurance practices in Georgia? A. They reduce the need for insurance professionals and agents. B. They increase the complexity of insurance policy language. C. They improve efficiency in claims processing and underwriting. D. They decrease the availability of insurance products in the market. Answer. C. They improve efficiency in claims processing and underwriting. Explanation. Technological advancements in Georgia impact insurance practices by improving efficiency in claims processing and underwriting. Innovations such as artificial intelligence, data analytics, and digital platforms streamline processes, enhance risk assessment capabilities, and expedite claims settlements. This technological integration enables insurers to deliver faster and more accurate services to policyholders while adapting to changing market demands and regulatory requirements. Options A, B, and D describe potential impacts of technological advancements but do not accurately reflect their primary benefit of improving efficiency. Question 99. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does producer licensing play in Georgia's insurance regulations? A. To market insurance products to consumers effectively. B. To oversee insurance company operations and ensure compliance with state laws. C. To ensure that insurance professionals meet competency and ethical standards. D. To provide legal representation to consumers in insurance disputes. Answer. C. To ensure that insurance professionals meet competency and ethical standards. Explanation. Producer licensing in Georgia's insurance regulations plays a crucial role in ensuring that insurance professionals, such as agents and brokers, meet competency and ethical standards. Licensing requirements include passing examinations, completing education courses, and maintaining ongoing compliance with state laws and regulations. This regulatory oversight aims to protect consumers by ensuring that licensed producers possess the necessary knowledge and skills to provide accurate insurance advice and services. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance regulation but do not accurately reflect the role of producer licensing. Question 100. Casualty insurance scenario. Lisa, the business owner in Georgia, faces a lawsuit from a customer who slipped and fell on her premises. Lisa's commercial general liability insurance policy provides coverage for bodily injury liability. The insurer investigates the claim and confirms coverage under Lisa's policy. What role does indemnity play in this situation? A. It requires Lisa to reimburse the insurer for legal expenses incurred. B. It limits the insurer's liability to a specific dollar amount. C. It obligates the insurer to defend Lisa in the lawsuit and pay for damages. D. It allows Lisa to choose her preferred legal representation. Answer. C. It obligates the insurer to defend Lisa in the lawsuit and pay for damages. Explanation. Indemnity in this situation obligates Lisa's commercial general liability insurer to defend her in the lawsuit brought by the customer who slipped and fell on her premises. It also requires the insurer to pay for damages up to the policy limits if Lisa is found liable for the customer's injuries. This contractual obligation ensures that Lisa is protected from financial losses resulting from covered liability claims. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance but do not accurately reflect the role of indemnity and liability coverage. Question 101. Insurance policy analysis. What are endorsements in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. Additional coverage is added to modify the standard policy terms. B. Mandatory requirements for policyholders to maintain coverage. C. Discounts offered to policyholders for good driving records. D. Provisions that exclude certain perils from coverage. Answer A. Additional coverage is added to modify the standard policy terms. Explanation. Endorsements in an insurance policy in Georgia refer to additional coverages added to modify the standard policy terms. These modifications may include increasing coverage limits, adding specific protections or exclusions, or customizing the policy to meet the insured's unique needs. Endorsements provide flexibility for policyholders to tailor their insurance coverage based on individual circumstances or preferences. Options B, C, and D describe different aspects related to insurance policies but do not accurately reflect the definition of endorsements. Question 102. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario. Mike, an insurance adjuster in Georgia, is handling a complex homeowner's insurance claim involving extensive fire damage to a policyholder's property. The policyholder is distressed and requests expedited processing of the claim due to urgent financial needs. Mike is aware that the claim requires thorough investigation. What ethical principle should guide Mike's actions in this scenario? A. Fidelity. B. Integrity. C. Diligence. D. Justice. Answer. C. Diligence. Explanation. In this scenario, the ethical principle of diligence should guide Mike's actions as an insurance adjuster. Diligence requires him to perform his duties with thoroughness, care, and attention to detail in handling the homeowner's insurance claim. While respecting the policyholder's urgency, Mike must ensure that the claim is investigated comprehensively to determine coverage accurately and fairly. Options A, B, and D describe other ethical principles but do not specifically address the importance of diligence in claims handling. Question 103. Insurance underwriting. What factors do insurance underwriters in Georgia typically consider when evaluating an applicant for homeowners insurance coverage? A. The applicant's credit score and financial history. B. The age and condition of the insured property. C. The applicant's claims history and property location. D. The educational background and career history of the applicant. Answer. C. The applicant's claims history and property location. Explanation. Insurance underwriters in Georgia typically consider factors such as the applicant's claims history, including prior insurance claims, and the location and condition of the insured property when evaluating applicants for homeowners insurance coverage. These factors help underwriters assess the risk associated with insuring the property and determine appropriate premiums and coverage terms. What credit score and financial history, option A, may be considered in some cases. They are not as directly related to homeowners insurance underwriting as claims history and property location. Question 104. Insurance claims. Scenario. Mark, a policyholder in Georgia, files an auto insurance claim after his vehicle was damaged in a hit-and-run accident. The insurer investigates the claim and determines that Mark's policy includes coverage for hit-and-run accidents. However, Mark provides conflicting statements about the incident during the investigation. What impact could Mark's conflicting statements have on his auto insurance claim? A. It may invalidate his coverage for hit-and-run accidents. B. It could delay the claim's settlement process. C. It will increase the amount of compensation he receives. D. It will lead to automatic approval of his claim. Answer A. It may invalidate his coverage for hit-and-run accidents. Explanation. Mark's conflicting statements about the hit-and-run accident could potentially invalidate his coverage for this specific claim under his auto insurance policy in Georgia. Providing inconsistent or inaccurate information during the claims investigation may raise doubts about the validity of the claim or the circumstances surrounding the incident. This could result in the insurer denying coverage or reducing the amount of compensation provided. Options B, C, and D describe potential outcomes but are less likely in cases involving conflicting statements that may jeopardize coverage. Question 105. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does a consumer education play in Georgia's insurance regulations? A. To regulate insurance rates and approve policy forms. B. To market insurance products to consumers effectively. C. To ensure that consumers understand insurance policies and coverage options. D. To provide legal representation to consumers in insurance disputes. Answer: C. To ensure that consumers understand insurance policies and coverage options. Explanation: Consumer education in Georgia's insurance regulations plays a critical role in ensuring that consumers understand insurance policies, coverage options, and their rights and responsibilities when purchasing insurance. It aims to promote informed decision-making among consumers by providing clear and accessible information about insurance products, terms, and conditions. Educated consumers are better equipped to compare insurance options, understand the benefits and limitations of coverage, and make choices that meet their individual needs. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance regulation but do not accurately reflect the primary role of consumer education. Question 106. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of exclusions in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. To summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. B. To outline the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. C. To specify the perils or risks that are not covered under the insurance policy. D. To determine the premium amount based on the insured's risk profile. Answer: C. To specify the perils or risks that are not covered under the insurance policy. Explanation: Exclusions in an insurance policy in Georgia specify the perils or risks that are not covered under the insurance policy. These exclusions clarify situations or events for which the insurer will not provide coverage, such as intentional acts, wear and tear, or specific types of losses not included in the policy's coverage. By identifying exclusions, the policy delineates the limits of coverage and helps manage the insurer's risk exposure. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance policies but do not accurately reflect the purpose of exclusions. Question 107. Insurance claims. Scenario: Emily, a homeowner in Georgia, experiences water damage in her kitchen due to a burst pipe. She promptly notifies her homeowner's insurance company and files a claim for the damages. The insurer investigates the claim and determines coverage under Emily's policy. What role does adjustment play in this situation? A. It determines the policyholder's financial responsibility for the claim. B. It calculates the depreciation value of the damaged property. C. It assesses the extent of the covered losses and calculates the compensation. D. It evaluates the policyholder's eligibility for future premium discounts. Answer: C. It assesses the extent of the covered losses and calculates the compensation. Explanation: Adjustment in this situation refers to the process of assessing the extent of the covered losses resulting from the water damage in Emily's kitchen. Insurance adjusters evaluate the damage, estimate repair or replacement costs, and calculate the compensation owed to the policyholder based on the terms and limits of the insurance policy. This process ensures that Emily receives fair and appropriate compensation for her covered losses under the homeowner's insurance policy. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of claims handling but do not accurately reflect the role of adjustment in assessing covered losses. Question 108. Ethics and professional conduct. Scenario: Sarah, an insurance agent in Georgia, is approached by a potential client seeking advice on purchasing life insurance. The client discloses a pre-existing medical condition that may affect insurance eligibility and premiums. Sarah recommends omitting this information from the insurance application to secure a lower premium rate. What ethical principle has Sarah violated in this scenario? A. Fidelity. B. Integrity. C. Confidentiality. D. Honesty. Answer: D. Honesty. Explanation: In this scenario, Sarah has violated the ethical principle of honesty by recommending that the client omit relevant information, pre-existing medical condition, from the insurance application. Insurance agents have a duty to provide accurate and truthful information to clients, ensuring that all material facts affecting insurance coverage and premiums are disclosed. Failing to disclose relevant information may misrepresent the client's risk profile to the insurer and could lead to policy cancellation or denial of claims in the future. Options A, B, and C describe other ethical principles but do not accurately reflect the violation committed by Sarah. Question 109. Workers' compensation insurance. What are the primary benefits provided by workers' compensation insurance in Georgia? A. Payment for overtime work and bonuses to injured employees. B. Medical benefits, wage replacement, and rehabilitation services for injured employees. C. Retirement benefits and pension plans for injured employees. D. Legal representation and advocacy for injured employees. Answer: B. Medical benefits, wage replacement, and rehabilitation services for injured employees. Explanation: Workers' compensation insurance in Georgia provides medical benefits, wage replacement, indemnity benefits, and rehabilitation services for employees who are injured or become ill due to work-related incidents. These benefits aim to cover medical expenses related to the injury or illness, compensate for lost wages during recovery or disability, and support the employee's rehabilitation and return to work. Options A, C, and D describe different benefits or services, but are not primary benefits provided by workers' compensation insurance. Question 110. Insurance underwriting. What role do underwriting guidelines play in the insurance industry in Georgia? A. They establish standard rates for insurance premiums. B. They outline the ethical standards for insurance agents. C. They provide criteria for assessing risk and determining coverage eligibility. D. They regulate insurance advertising and marketing practices. Answer: C. They provide criteria for assessing risk and determining coverage eligibility. Explanation: Underwriting guidelines in the insurance industry in Georgia provide criteria and standards for assessing risk, evaluating applicants, and determining coverage eligibility. These guidelines help underwriters make informed decisions about issuing insurance policies, setting premiums, and applying specific terms and conditions based on the applicant's risk profile. By following underwriting guidelines, insurers can maintain consistency, manage risk effectively, and ensure fair treatment of policyholders. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance practices but do not accurately reflect the role of underwriting guidelines. Question 111. State insurance laws and regulations. What is the purpose of rate regulation in Georgia's insurance laws? A. To standardize insurance policy language and terms. B. To monitor insurer solvency and financial stability. C. To oversee insurance company operations and ensure compliance with state laws. D. To ensure that insurance premiums are fair and not excessive. Answer: D. To ensure that insurance premiums are fair and not excessive. Explanation: Rate regulation in Georgia's insurance laws aims to ensure that insurance premiums charged by insurers are fair, adequate, and not excessive. State insurance regulators review and approve premium rates proposed by insurers to prevent unfair pricing practices that could burden policyholders or undermine the stability of the insurance market. This oversight helps protect consumers from paying unreasonably high premiums while promoting competition among insurers based on pricing and service quality. Options A, B, and C describe different regulatory purposes but do not accurately reflect the specific purpose of rate regulation. Question 112. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of the declarations page in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. To summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. B. To outline the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. C. To specify the perils or risks that are not covered under the insurance policy. D. To determine the premium amount based on the insured's risk profile. Answer A. To summarize the insured's coverage limits and policy details. Explanation: The declarations page in an insurance policy in Georgia serves the purpose of summarizing the insured's coverage limits, policy details, and key information. It typically includes essential information such as the insured's name and address, the policy period, coverage limits, deductibles, premiums, and any applicable endorsements or special provisions. This page provides policyholders with a clear overview of their insurance coverage and helps them understand the terms and conditions of their policy. Options B, C, and D describe different aspects of insurance policies, but do not accurately reflect the purpose of the declarations page. Question 113. Insurance claims. Scenario: Tom, a policyholder in Georgia, files a claim under his homeowner's insurance policy after severe storm causes roof damage to his house. The insurer investigates the claim and determines that the damage is covered under Tom's policy. What role does a subrogation play in this situation? A. It determines the policyholder's financial responsibility for the claim. B. It calculates the depreciation value of the damaged property. C. It allows the insurer to recover costs from responsible third parties. D. It assesses the extent of the covered losses and calculates the compensation. Answer: C. It allows the insurer to recover costs from responsible third parties. Explanation: subrogation in this situation allows the insurer to recover costs related to the claim from responsible third parties such as contractors, manufacturers, or other parties whose actions or negligence may have caused or contributed to the roof damage. By exercising subrogation rights, the insurer seeks reimbursement for claim payments made to the policyholder, thereby reducing its financial losses and potentially recovering deductible amounts paid by the insured. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of claims handling but do not accurately reflect the role of subrogation. Question 114. Ethics and Professional Conduct Scenario: Jason, an insurance broker in Georgia, recommends a complex life insurance policy to a client without fully explaining the policy's terms and conditions. The client later discovers discrepancies between the policy provisions and Jason's representations. What ethical principle has Jason violated in this scenario? A. Integrity. B. Fidelity. C. Confidentiality. D. Professional competence. Answer: A. Integrity. Explanation: in this scenario, Jason has violated the ethical principle of integrity by failing to provide accurate and truthful information about the life insurance policy's terms and conditions to the client. Integrity requires insurance professionals to act honestly and transparently, ensuring that clients receive clear and complete information to make informed decisions about insurance purchases. Misrepresenting policy provisions or omitting critical details can undermine trust and potentially harm the client's financial interests. Options B, C, and D describe other ethical principles but do not accurately reflect the violation committed by Jason. Question 115. Casualty insurance. What is the purpose of a liability insurance in Georgia? A. To cover losses related to damage or destruction of property. B. To provide medical benefits and wage replacement for injured employees. C. To protect policyholders against legal responsibilities for injuries or damages. D. To insure against financial losses due to natural disasters. Answer: C. To protect policyholders against legal responsibilities for injuries or damages. Explanation: liability insurance in Georgia serves the purpose of protecting policyholders against legal responsibilities for injuries or damages they may cause to others. It covers legal costs, court awards, and settlements associated with liability claims, providing financial protection and ensuring that policyholders can meet their legal obligations without significant personal financial losses. Options A, B, and D describe different types of insurance coverage but do not accurately reflect the purpose of liability insurance. Question 116. Insurance underwriting. What are underwriting factors in the context of insurance policies in Georgia? A. The criteria used to determine the premium amount for the policy. B. The limits of coverage specified in the insurance policy. C. The endorsements added to modify the standard policy terms. D. The types of perils or risks covered under the insurance policy. Answer A. The criteria used to determine the premium amount for the policy. Explanation: underwriting factors in Georgia refer to the criteria used by insurers to assess risk and determine the premium amount for an insurance policy. These factors may include the insured's age, health status, occupation, location, claims history, and the type and amount of coverage requested. Insurers analyze underwriting factors to evaluate the likelihood of claims and calculate premiums that reflect the associated risk accurately. Options B, C, and D describe different aspects of insurance policies but do not accurately reflect the definition of underwriting factors. Question 117. State insurance laws and regulations. How do state-specific insurance regulations in Georgia impact insurance pricing? A. They set standard rates for insurance premiums across all insurers. B. They allow insurers to adjust rates based on market competition. C. They require insurers to offer discounts for safe driving records. D. They ensure that insurance premiums are fair and not discriminatory. Answer: D. They ensure that insurance premiums are fair and not discriminatory. Explanation: state-specific insurance regulations in Georgia impact insurance pricing by ensuring that insurance premiums charged by insurers are fair, adequate, and not discriminatory. These regulations aim to protect consumers from unfair pricing practices and ensure that insurers base premium rates on actuarially sound principles and risk factors. Regulators review rate filings, monitor market conditions, and enforce compliance with pricing rules to promote transparency and fairness in insurance pricing. Options A, B, and C describe different aspects of insurance regulations but do not accurately reflect the impact of state-specific regulations on insurance pricing. Question 118. Insurance Policy Analysis. What is the purpose of endorsements in an insurance policy in Georgia? A. To outline the insurer's obligations to defend the insured in legal disputes. B. To specify the perils or risks that are not covered under the insurance policy. C. To provide additional coverages or modify the standard policy terms. D. To determine the premium amount based on the insured's risk profile. Answer: C. To provide additional coverages or modify the standard policy terms. Explanation: endorsements in an insurance policy in Georgia serve the purpose of providing additional coverages or modifying the standard policy terms to better suit the insured's needs. Insurers use endorsements to add or remove coverage options, increase or decrease coverage limits, or include specific provisions that may not be part of the standard policy. This customization allows policyholders to tailor their insurance coverage according to their individual circumstances and preferences. Options A, B, and D describe different aspects of insurance policies, but do not accurately reflect the purpose of endorsements. Question 119. Insurance claims. Scenario: Emma, a policyholder in Georgia, files a claim under her auto insurance policy after her vehicle was damaged in a collision with another driver. The insurer investigates the claim and determines that Emma's policy includes coverage for collision damage. What role does deductible play in this situation? A. It determines the maximum amount the insurer will pay for the claim. B. It represents Emma's financial responsibility for the claim before insurance coverage applies. C. It calculates the depreciation value of the damaged vehicle. D. It assesses the extent of the covered losses and calculates the compensation. Answer: B. It represents Emma's financial responsibility for the claim before insurance coverage applies. Explanation: in this situation, the deductible in Emma's auto insurance policy represents her financial responsibility for the claim before insurance coverage applies. Policyholders choose a deductible amount when purchasing insurance, and it typically applies to collision and comprehensive coverages. Emma must pay the deductible amount out of pocket, and the insurer covers the remaining eligible expenses up to the policy limits. Options A, C, and D describe different aspects related to claims handling but do not accurately reflect the role of the deductible. Question 120. Ethics and Professional Conduct. Scenario: John, an insurance agent in Georgia, recommends a life insurance policy to a client without disclosing potential conflicts of interest related to commissions earned from policy sales. The client later discovers that John's recommendations were influenced by financial incentives. What ethical principle has John violated in this scenario? A. Fidelity. B. Integrity. C. Confidentiality. D. Transparency. Answer: D. Transparency. Explanation: in this scenario, John has violated the ethical principle of transparency by failing to disclose potential conflicts of interest related to commissions earned from policy sales. Insurance agents have a duty to act with transparency and disclose any financial incentives or conflicts of interest that may influence their recommendations to clients. By providing clear and truthful information about compensation arrangements, agents allow clients to make informed decisions and trust that their best interests are being prioritized. Options A, B, and C describe other ethical principles but do not accurately reflect the violation committed by John.